It is Friday, and we have some amazing, amazing information coming to all of you today. We have a leader who's been extremely successful at going out and prospecting and peaking and teaching us everything about how that works in Texas. He's been all over the place. He's been able to go from Dallas down to Houston, and he's traveled all across the country plugging into the events. And he's extremely close to one of the top positions within the company. I'll let him talk to you a little bit about that. But without any further ado, I want to introduce to all of you Mr. Sam Foster. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Thank you for introducing me, sir. Such a wonderful, wonderful guest and host in Mr. Thomas's absence. I want to say thank you to Mr. Thomas, of course, in his absence, being on the cruise. Thank him for his platform. I know I'm speaking for numerous amounts of people on the call, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, thank you for Mr. Jabri Clemens behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate what you do day in and day out for the team as a whole. Okay. I'm going to be brief, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to get to the point. If you're taking notes, the title of today's message is called M.A.D. That's right, M.A.D. M.A.D., which stands for making a difference. Making a difference. I want everybody to keep that in the back of their minds because I'm going somewhere with this message. And I want everybody to understand, and I want everybody to get mad with me. M.A.D. Mad, mad. And the reason why I say mad, ladies and gentlemen, is because this week I was just kind of thinking about what I was going to talk to you guys about. And of course, you guys know I try to be as prepared as possible. So I was trying to put my message together. But as usual, God flipped the script. And one of the reasons why he flipped the script that I could think of was because I don't know if you guys were able to catch the message board that we have out about Mr. Thomas being on the cruise, and he showed all these wonderful pictures and things of that nature on the leadership cruise that the team has went on for ACN, and I was hot as fish grease. That's right, in a positive manner. I was hot, ladies and gentlemen. I was like, wait a minute. I got to revamp. I got to do some other things because I want to continue to be that type of person that goes on an excursion every time ACN has one. That's right. I'm sitting out a clarion call, a declaration, because we too can be on those cruises. Yeah, it doesn't matter about your stage or whatever is going on in your life. Just be consistent. And when you're consistent, we can go on those cruises as well. So I'm going to dive into the information. But before I do, I want to give it up to all the individuals this past week that were on the call this past week before I got on the call. I mean, everybody from Roxanne Corlejo, who actually closed out the call for the month of October, leading into November. Then you had Mr. Julian Lewis come on the call. Of course, he knocks it out the park. Then you had my guy, Senior Vice President M.D. Rummet. Oh my God. He even said, ladies and gentlemen, that he didn't even go on the cruise. He qualified, didn't go on the cruise because he wanted to be in full production mode when they came back from the cruise. So you know that got my blood boiling. So it just was a fired up experience. Then you had Mr. Chris King yesterday come on the call live from Lake Tahoe and break down his information. And I started thinking to myself, ladies and gentlemen, I need to change some things as far as my approach and my strategy. Okay. And I'm going to share some of these things with you because I like to be interactive and I like you guys to kind of get the feel of going with me a lot of times as I do certain things. And this is going to tie into my messages for the month. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you a little bit to start, kind of like a teaser, and then it's going to build itself throughout the month. Okay, and you guys just work with me. It's gonna tie in. It's gonna tie in very well. Um, I want to first of all say that once I saw those individual pictures on the cruise, I got very irritated in a positive way. So I said to myself, I said, what what are some of the things that I can do and individuals can do as a whole to ramp up production and things of that nature? Well, here in Texas, we have this thing called a VIA. And what the VIA does is it's a vehicle, it's like a van, and it's designated strictly to my area. As you guys can tell, Texas is a very big state. So a lot of times they narrow geographic location down to fit the area that you're in. Now, my particular area that I'm in what they would call the suburban area of Dallas, kind of like the outskirts or whatever, but I'm Dallas County. I'm actually in Dallas. But even the city is divided because it's so huge geographically. And I want to give you guys a picture of what I'm getting ready to explain to you so you can have a big picture. Now, the town that's next to us is also huge, and that's Arlington, and that's where the Cowboys Stadium is and things of that nature. But the two cities have decided they didn't want public transportation like big buses and things of that nature that we commonly have in the inner city of Dallas. They decided they didn't want to do that, so they wanted to keep traffic at a decreased level, so it's not so populated. Okay, if you guys can follow me so far. So they came up with this thing called the VIA, and it's a ride share, it's a van. But what's unique about it is that it's only in my area, it's only $3. And you get to ride all over the city for only $3. Anywhere in that area that van goes, it's only $3. Okay. As compared to Uber, no dissing on Uber, as compared to Uber, it may cost you $30. So go figure, do the math. But I started thinking of ways that I could increase my business as a whole through this situation. And then it gives me an opportunity to meet other people. I'm going somewhere, just bear with me. And I decided for the last couple of weeks to try it out. Okay. I get so mad this week, I try it out. I'm sitting in the van. I'm talking to the driver of the van. She's a foreign individual from another country. We started dialoguing, and you got to remember, like, ladies and gentlemen, this is how I peak people. This is a training exercise now. This is how I peak people. So as we started talking, there are other people that were in the van, at least two other people. So the other lady kind of heard us talking. She kind of interjected a little bit. So I said, okay, I think I might pick her as well. What I ended up doing, to make a long story short, I ended up knocking off two birds with one stone. I ended up getting two names and numbers when I was originally kind of going for one. And the way that I was able to do that was through my conversation with one person in the van. The other person, of course, was eavesdropping. So I ended up getting both names and numbers. And since I was casually driving, I didn't really have a location per se. So I was able to peak other people. Now I'm saying that for my Uber people that use Uber, for people that go and meet other people, there are other ways that you can do certain things. I'm bringing it up for a reason. All right. Now, when I picked the actual driver, I made sure that I drove long enough with her to where it was just me and her in the car alone. Then she starts telling me about her family. You know, we you do this thing called form. So I let her do the talk. Hint, hint. She started telling me about her family, and she got people in different countries and blah blah blah. And I informed her. I said, yeah, you know that we're all over the country, and we're in 27 countries outside the United States. Then I started letting her know, ladies and gentlemen, how global we are when I said that, she started naming other people, family members, and friends that she knew, of course, in other countries. That's important. You have to let other people talk because if you let them talk without you all over people, you'll find out more about them, and people love to be heard. Let me repeat that. If you're taking notes, people love to be heard. In other words, let them talk a little bit. Doesn't have to be long. Remember, we're picking up other people. So I let her talk enough to where not only did I get her information, but I learned a lot about her family. She has about 5 kids, and two of those kids are grown kids. You know, to do ACN, you have to be at least 18. She has 2 kids, one that's getting ready to turn 20, another one is already 22. So right then and there, I said, well, I'm going to send you my information. I text her, of course, the video and everything. And I say, well, send this to your sons. One was already at home. The other one was at work, young crowd. So I'm attaching myself as I do this. True network marketing. True network marketing, ladies and gentlemen, always attaches itself to the next thing. In other words, how many people can I hit through my first hit? See what I'm saying? So now I got, instead of one person in the family, I got 3 people peaking at the same time. That's important. That's important. Okay. Then I ended up finding out that her husband works a job that he's on 4 days, right? And he's off 3. And she said, oh, my husband's not doing anything, just casual conversation. She said, my husband's not doing anything. She said, he's at home the next 3 days while I'm in here driving this van. You don't say. Ding, 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 ding. Now the husband is a potential. Why? Because I said, well, send this to him while he's sitting at home. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I went from talking to one person to talking to 2 people because the other person eavesdropped. Now I got a total of 3 more people. So that's, by my recollection, 4 or 5 more people off of at least one person. And it didn't take me 5 minutes. Now, somebody's going to get this information and have to replay it, but I said it for a reason. Because when you talk to one person, you ought to be able to tap root to other people. But in order to do that, sometimes for my people who don't understand what's going on, sometimes you have to let people talk enough to key into things that they say. If they start talking about a family member, they start talking about they know people in other places. You have to tap into it, and you can tap into it right then. Why? Because if you send them your information, if you text it to them by getting their name and number, it attaches itself. Then you could say either let me get their number, or when you send them that information, say tell them to call me. Because some people may not feel comfortable with hitting you direct, but you still have a direct contact, which is that first person. Law of first mention. You got that first person that you talk to. So now my net has spread it from one person to 5, 6 people. And it was less than 5 minutes. Now I'm saying that because somebody's getting ready to go out somewhere today and make certain connections they didn't even know they could make. Now, I'm getting ready to go out in a little bit myself because you guys know it's election season, and we having the opportunity to this week. Well, today's the last day that you can pre-vote before the primaries, which is I think Tuesday. So you have an opportunity to vote, go vote early. So what I've decided to do is get back in the ride share, and go to the polls and casually walk around, casually have casual conversations with people. And you guys know me. I got the tools of the trade. I got my business cards for the people who may want to save money. Got my trusty friend, my cell phone. Flash wireless, by the way. Shameless plug. I say that, ladies and gentlemen, because What we have to learn to do is make connections on top of connections. Okay. Now, I'm saying that for a reason because next week and in the weeks leading up to the end of the month, my messages are getting ready to build on themselves. And you have to connect yourself to the first message, then second, third, and then the last, because I'm going somewhere. It's going to be a stair step, but it's going to be interactive and it's going to be causing you guys to think because I said to myself, I said, wow, they're on that cruise, ACN sponsored cruise. And I bet they're having a wonderful time. Then I got a little positively mad. Then I thought about something that M.D. Rummy said. He said, I qualified for the cruise and I chose not to go. And he said the reason why he chose not to go was because, once again, he wanted to be in first place when everybody came back. Am I knocking him for doing it? Absolutely not. Am I knocking him for not doing it? Absolutely not. Those that went on a cruise, you deserve it. Go on a cruise. But for those people who have the mentality to be in phase one, which is as if you don't have any titles, as if you're just walking in the door today. These are the people that I want to be talking to right now, my phase one people. So if anybody has a mentality of phase one in the room right now, I want you guys to put phase one in the chat to let me know you understand what I'm talking about. My phase one people. In other words, we're going to strip the titles. We have to strip the titles in order to get where we're trying to go. We have to have a phase one mentality. And phase one is going to put us in a position, ladies and gentlemen, to take our business to the next level. Well, what do you mean by that, Sam? I see you, Jackie Black. I see you, phase one. Joe Mar, I got you. You know I got you. I see you, Rick Kubiak, all the way in Hawaii. I see you, phase one. Lurleen Jones, I get you. Phase one mentality. This is what I'm talking about for the rest of the month. We're going to phase one mode. We're not worried about titles this month. We're going to end this quarter off strong with a phase one mentality. In other words, we talking CQ. Bare bones of phase one, CQ. We all looking like we trying to get qualified out here. I see you, Jason Diggory. Daryl Ransom. We trying to get qualified out here. We going all out like that. Now, what I didn't tell you guys is the lady that I prospected after the driver ended up telling me that her and her mother was looking to start her own business. You know me, you don't say. Looking to start her own business? What? Do tell. Now, they were dropping her off at 24-hour fit. She was going to work out. Think about it. And all I did was listen. And upon listening, ladies and gentlemen, you know I got that name and that number. And you know I sent it right to her. Why did I send it right to her? I tell you what. I tell you what, we're gonna have a little fun. I'm gonna tell you why I sent it right to her. Okay? Belinda Batiste, I'm gonna show you why I sent it right to her. Because she was going into the 24-hour fitness, right? I'm gonna share this with you guys. Well, she already had her her Beats earphones on. So you know, I'm thinking when she gets on that treadmill, you know how you women love to get on that treadmill because us guys mostly we hate that part. But she wanted to get on that treadmill. Do you realize when she gets on that treadmill, at least she's gonna peek at the information. And when she peeks at that information, she's listening to it. At worst case scenario, it's audio in her ear already, right? So I already text her. So when I text her, I said, I think her name is Ramirez. I said, morning, Miss Ramirez, pleasure to meet you today. This is my detailed information, right? When I sent that to her, then I followed it up with the video. Then I said, behind that, I said, pay attention to one, who we are, two, what we do, and 3, how we get paid. I gave it the instruction. So dumb a caveman can do it. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. I just gave her the instruction. Why? Because I didn't assume that she already understood business. I just made it look like, okay, she fresh out the box. And I keep it simple. So when she's on that treadmill, I already know she's on that treadmill, but she's listening to the video. She's paying attention to what I asked her to pay attention to. And now she's got the earphones on, the earplugs on. You got to remember now, she has no distraction. So what she's going to get ready to do is she's going to at least go back and tell her mom, hey, mom, check this out. Or try to explain it to her. Now, on my text, I said, let me know what you like most about it. So I'm going to let them dialogue, right, based on the documentation. And then I come back 24, 48 hours later. And I said, what you like most about it? Well, mom, them have already dialogued. They got questions like Radio Shack. I got answers. So I've already set myself up with 5 or 6 people that I've already put the information out, and I had to do little to nothing. All I had to do was expose myself, right? Put myself in the right spot, exposing myself, and let my documentation beat the conversation. Let me repeat that, Jackie Black, Mr. Ishmael. I let my documentation beat my conversation. Worst case scenario, they become my customer. Come on now. They all doing my services. The only difference is they not making the money, they're not saving the money. Come on. That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, Julian Lewis, they become our new IBOs. Think about it. They're already doing the services, or watch this. Or they tap root me to somebody else. That's simple. But we get frustrated. I know we get frustrated. Because I know somebody on this call is saying to themselves, shh, here it is go again. I'm thinking about letting it go. Why? Are they not listening to me? Yes, they are. They listening to you. Some people trying to see if you're going to quit so they can say, I told you so. For somebody on this call, they trying to see if you're going to quit. I got an answer for you. I wish I would. I wish I would. I wish I would quit. I wish I would quit right now. I wouldn't give them the satisfaction. I wouldn't give it to them. I wouldn't give them the satisfaction. I'm getting ready to go hard in the paint. We got 2 more months before this year is out, and somebody needs to be moving their business forward. I don't care how small it is, just move it forward. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting ready to head to the polls. And if you hadn't voted yet, I'm not trying to be political or anything like that, but that's an excellent peaking location because they're going to be open all day long. I'm already getting ready to go. I already got my jacket. I got my jacket. I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to walk in there real professional like. I'm getting ready to go in there, Melissa and play Dawn, Larlene Jones, Maria Estrada. I'm finna go in there and play Dawn. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something. Now, sometimes you have to dumb yourself down. I'm finna go in there and ask a whole bunch of questions as if it was my first time voting. Why? Because I'm peeking all through my process. I'm peeking all through my process. This is how this goes. What do? Oh, I own a little something. What? Really? There you go. There you go. 2 minutes into a conversation, most people ask, what's your occupation? That's a fact. That's a fact. You just don't realize it, but that's a fact. 2 minutes into a conversation, that's what most people ask. So what do? I own a little something. Okay, now make the conversation short. Okay? Daryl Ransom, when they say what do, always go for the name and number. Because at that point, they're going to give it to you because they're nosy. They're nosy, right? Right? What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen, ladies and gentlemen? Come on now. Mary Mo, what's the worst that can happen? They say no? Okay, so watch this. Let's say they do say no. First of all, it don't make a hill of beans to me because they already doing my services anyway. Let's just keep it real. They already doing this service. And I could see, watch this, Lance Kelly, I could see if our services didn't work. Now, Chris King said something yesterday that shook me in my boots. He said, I got all of my services except for TV because it ain't in my area. Well, if you got all of your services, that's your confidence booster right there. And for somebody on the call, why you don't have all of our services? Do you realize you're throwing money out the door? I mean, literally. Let's keep it bare bones for a minute. Let's keep it bare bones, Joe Mar. Why do you not have your services? Why are you giving somebody else your money instead of putting it back in your pocket? See, I was gonna save that part because I'm inching up. I'm getting ready to break down this system about a job. I'm getting ready to break all this down as the weeks go along because most of you know I do a lot of contract work. I go on the site yesterday and they happy because they got paid a day early. Come on now. Maria, they happy they got paid a day early. These are supposed to be professional people. Maria, they trade time for dollars and getting a tip called a paycheck and they happy. Maria, guess what I found out? Maria, they living for the weekend. And to be honest with you, if you work on Friday, they only get a day and a half. Because they trying to party all night Friday night, and they trying to do it again on Saturday. They only get a day and a half. That's all they get. They get a headache on Sunday and don't go to church. Watch that part. Watch that part. Let me get out of there. They get a headache on Saturday night and don't go to church on Sunday. And the drinks they drinking are watered down drinks. Come on. You paid $10 for a drink that only cost $1. Let me get out. Let me get out of there. I'm just saying. But then you go to work 8 hours a day. You duck and go in the bathroom 4 hours because you don't want to do the work. Huh? Let me tell the truth. Let me tell the truth. Then you run around here and you want a title. They give you a title. Watch this part. They give you a title. And they only gave you a $2 raise. After taxes, that's 50 cents. Do the math. That's 50. You make 50 cents more after taxes. That's all you make. But you happy to walk around and tell somebody, I'm a supervisor. I'm a manager. Of what? After 60 days on the job, you know how to do the job anyway. You're not managing me. You might be managing yourself. Oh, let me get out. That's too far. I'm going too far. Mr. Lewis, I'm gonna come back in. I was going too far. I'm gonna come back. I'm a sinner. See, because I'm gonna do all that this month. Yeah, I'm gonna expose all that this month. So the people that pick up this information is gonna hate their job. Because like I said before, you know what I think job stands for? Just over broke. I'm finna do that. I'm finna do that this month. So when people say they want to come over here with us, they know we the real deal over here. They know we fire bosses over here. See, this is what it's all about. It's about firing bosses. It's about let's get on a cruise every time we choose to get on a cruise, and not just because we going on a vacation. Because to me, a vacation ain't a vacation if you come back and you tired. Somebody gonna get that late. Because you come back and you tired, and most people come back and they're tired because They were stressed out when they went on the vacation anyway because they know they had to come back to a job. Let me get out of that. Marlene, let me get out of that. Let me get out. Brian Swallow, let me get out of that conversation because that's for another week. But I'm getting ready to expose all of that, ladies and gentlemen. So when you guys start peeking people and you start talking to people, guess what, guys? You're not going to be out of the water at all. You're going to be comfortable in your element. You're going to be able to peak more people, get more customers and IBOs once this thing is over with. All I want you guys to think about this week going forward is to stay made, making a difference. Mr. Lewis, that has been my time. Thanks for letting me share.